currently about 5:30, and on today's agenda is finally getting our old house ready to put up for rent, like doing the finishing touches on that. But first, we gotta make a stop. You know what it is. It's not Asher's room anymore. It is pretty bittersweet moving. Their picture's not up there anymore. Okay, no time for that, come on. Okay, today, closet organizer, wrap up everything in the house, clean up the back porch, fix the chicken feed bucket, and clean up the backyard. Sun came up this morning. Faithful. Oh.
How do you feel about the fact that this is probably the last time that they're ever going to sit at this counter and eat a meal?
Really tough.
Are you going to cry about it?
Probably later.
Hi! Hey! Hi! You want to go feed the chickens? Let's go feed the chickens! Let's go feed them!
Oh,
Sissy!
Flower.
Oh, what is that?
It's a wild.
Is it yellow? Is it a flower?
Yellow flower.
Hey girls, here they come, the velociraptors. Ah! Hey girls.
Finally, got done, made it back home. Gonna clean out my truck a little bit and then hopefully go sit in the hot tub. So the last video that I posted, I actually shot this past Sunday. It is now currently Saturday, so it was almost a week ago that I shot that video, and I just now uploaded it, I think, yesterday. So there was a huge gap. I have been vlogging almost every day, but it has been such a busy season for me, which is a gift from God. Like, I'm so thankful for all the work, everything that we've had going on at the duplex, trying to get that ready for new renters, moving the chickens, building the new chicken coop, trying to find the time to do all of this, and also not be away from my family constantly, and also work being like busier than it's been in years. It's just been hard to try to vlog all day long, like find some time at the end of the day to fix up the chicken coop, do this and that, and then like spend at least an hour and a half editing. Which if I turn off Netflix and I do all of that stuff, normally it takes me about an hour to an hour and a half if I'm not trying to multitask, which I really suck at doing. It normally takes me at least an hour to edit a vlog, most of the time an hour and a half. And I know that doesn't really sound like a whole lot of time, and it's not a whole lot of time. It's just been hard trying to find that hour. But I have been vlogging like every day. Something that did happen this week, and I did vlog that, was, I think it was Thursday, I went and I took Asher for his very first professional haircut. Like, I've cut his hair before, but me and him had our first like father-son go to the barber experience. Everything was great. We sit on the floor. Thankfully, my barbershop, they have like this train table for kids, and he absolutely loved that. So I sat on the floor with him and we played trains for a good bit, waiting on our turn. And I had already kind of made up my mind that I was going to go first. That way I could keep an eye on him. He could just be happy playing trains. And then once, like, if the haircut didn't go the best, if he didn't do the best in the barber chair, once we're done cutting his hair, like, we're done, we're out of there, instead of cutting his hair and then him having to sit around wait on me. And I don't really know if you can see it in this video, but between like the waiting area and where the actual barber chairs are, there's this like 4-foot high wall that just kind of separates the two areas. And the chair that I was sitting in, like it was across the room from where where like the little train table was. I could see both the doors. He was perfectly safe. Everybody had an eye on him. There was a bunch of gentlemen waiting, and they were all like, man, he's doing good, he's playing. My barber could like actively see him. But about 5 minutes into my haircut, I'm like, man, he's pretty quiet. And my barber was like, oh no, he's good, he's just kind of sitting around there playing trains. And so another 5 minutes later, he's like really quiet. I don't hear trains rolling anymore or anything like that. And I'm like, hold on 1 second. Let me look and like, let me see what he's doing. Okay, where was I? Kids came outside. They were trying to get in the hot tub. It was kind of a mess. But anyway, so it got really quiet. So I go over and I look over the wall and I see Asher like laying, he's on his knees, but he's doing this, like head against the ground, not like fully laid out, but he's laying there, almost like heads up, 7 up, but his knee, like he's just curled up in a little ball with his face on the ground. And dude, I start getting emotional every time I think about it. And so I'm like, Ash, and he's not responding. And there's a guy sitting kind of close to him, and he's like, yeah, he laid down there and fell asleep. And I'm thinking in my head, that's not my boy. Like, my boy did not just lay down and fall asleep. Like, he's not asleep. And he's not asleep, he's scared. And I walk over there, and I realize when I bend down and I get him, he looks up like he doesn't know who's picking him up, and he sees that it's me, and he just like melts into me and hugs me. He's not crying or anything, but he just holds me. And I glance over to where the chair is, like where my barber is standing, and I realize he couldn't see over that wall, and he didn't pay attention. I said, I'm going over here to get my hair cut, buddy. I'm right over here. And he was not paying attention, and all of a sudden he looks up, and I'm just gone. And he thought that I was gone. He thought that I left. Like, he was just scared. He didn't know anybody. And it marked me. Like, I'll never forget that feeling. I'll never forget the look on his face when I knew that he thought that I wasn't there and I was there. And the reason I'm telling you this story, because it didn't connect with me until like the next day. I didn't even really think about it in a spiritual aspect. But the next day I got to thinking about it, and I want to share that story with you guys, because like from so many different angles, I got to take these off. From so many different angles, I can see that from a God aspect. Like wondering what the heart of the Father feels when we look around and we think that he's not there when he's really there. We just can't see him. Like, I know God has emotions. I know God can get happy, and I know God can get sad and things like that. But I wonder, like, I know how much that broke my heart, and I'm just a human. I wonder how much the Father's heart sometimes just gets so broken when he sees his kids. I'm relating to this, maybe not y'all, but when he sees his kids, and there's times during my life, throughout the day, when I'm just looking around, and I'm like, I wonder if God's here. I don't know that he's there. Like, I'm not a doubt. You get what I'm saying? Like, you're going to have to follow me. You're just going to have to be there and be in the story, where you're going throughout your day and you're like, man, I just wish God would intervene, and he's right there. You just can't see him. And like, he's not even like me. He didn't even walk away. He's not even 10 feet away. He's right there. We just can't see him. And I think about the response that my son had when, like, that, honestly, sometimes I feel like that should be our response when we are feeling distant from the Father. Like, when we feel like the Father's not closer, when we can't see the Father, just do like this. Just like curl up in a little ball and just cry out until the Father shows up. He's always there, but just like, God, if I can't see you, and I know we can't see God, guys, follow me. But like, if I can't see you, if I don't feel your presence in the room, like, I'm going to hit my knees until I know that you're there. Like, I shot this whole segment the other day, and I didn't edit it, but I was talking about practicing the presence of God. And it's one of those things, like, I went on to start talking about how we need to start taking more time, even if it's just 2 or 3 minutes when we're riding in the car. And instead of turning on a podcast or anything like that, just get just get quiet and just start building up like the habits and building up I really guess habits is the best word, but building up the habit of saying, God, I want to know that you're in this car. Like, I want to know that you're right there, and acknowledging the fact and welcoming him into your presence and acknowledging the fact that he's there. And I think about the heart of the Father there, but I also, a lot of times, how do I say this? A lot of times I feel like in that scenario, man, it's so relatable. It's so relatable. God's speaking to me so much. I'm sorry. But a lot of times I've seen my relationship with God, and I thought about God as, like in that circumstance, as the God who would stand 10 feet away, who would stand 20 feet away and be like, I'm going to wait for you to know that I'm here. I'm going to wait for you to get off your knees and look around like, hey, I'm here. Like come chase me. Like, you need to see that I'm here. And I'm starting to understand that, like, most of the time, I think there's sometimes God will say, I think you need to pursue me a little bit. You know, I want you to talk to me. But I'm starting to realize that most cases, it's just not so. Like, if me being a human father is so imperfect of a love, like, I love my son more than I could even express of words in this vlog. But, like, such an imperfect love, such a lot of emotions in the love. Like, the Bible talks about, compared to the Father's love, our love that we can express looks evil compared to his love. Like, our love's not evil, but like, there's just no comparison, our love to his love. And if out of my love I thought, my son doesn't see me, I need him to know that I'm right. Jesus, I need him to know that I'm right here. Like, I always thought that God would stand 20 feet away and be like, come on, get off your knees. Like, look around. Come find me. Come find me. But that's not what I did. Like, I was like, oh, God, he doesn't know that I'm here. Like, I'm starting to realize God is the God who will sprint across the room and say, oh, no, he doesn't think that I'm there. Let me show him that I'm here. And I think... oh, God, I do not want to drop my camera in this hot tub. And I think, let's tighten this up because that's going to make me real nervous. Righty-tighty. And I have 5% left on this battery, so I need to wrap this up. I want to go back to the practicing the presence thing a little bit, because God has, in a way, God has already done everything that he is going to do to pursue us. He's already done everything that he could possibly do to show us that he is pursuing us, to show us that he wants to be in our midst, that he is always in our presence, that he sent his son. Like, he's like everything that he could do. He's given his best to pursue us. But I think even in situations where we will sit there and cry out to God and say, God, I don't feel you. I don't know that you're here. Can you please come and rescue me? Like, I know that he will always show up. He will always be there. It's just a learning. Man, what an experience. Okay, I'm getting in the hot tub. Dude, he's got the worst.
He's mean mugging.
Dude, it's
He is
horrible.
mean mugging.
It's horrible. Like, this is the worst experience I've ever had in my life.
You just wait till I
You're
get
gonna
on.
pay for it
I
now.
know. I don't
Wait
like
till I
you.
get on Yelp.
I don't like Blake. I don't like nobody.
He's like, I'm about to set up a Google account and 0 stars.
Sometimes you can only read what they'll let you read.
Hopefully he ain't the worst one you've ever had.
No, he's really good.
Good job, buddy. Proud of you.
December, when I left for spring break, and 20,000
Not bad, I guess.
That way mom will like it. Much better.
Hey. Hey. How was it? Did you have fun? Did you get a haircut? Huh? Your popcorn's right here. Come on. I'm gonna give it back to you. Let's go. Come on. Hey, do you want the popcorn? Do you want the popcorn? Okay, come on.